whole point of this podcast was to meet you in the middle because I strongly believe that we are always in the middle of building something. I don't consider myself old. I do consider myself experienced in that I'm able to bring to the forefront some of the things that I've experienced in life and learn from others who come onto the podcast. Being able to share 100 episodes with you, my listeners, my audience, my viewers, has just been beautiful. Y'all, we did it. We are officially 100 episodes into She Built Success. Let's clap it up. Woo! This is our 100th episode. And I will say, when I first started the podcast, I did not have a specific number of episodes in mind. I just knew I was doing 24 episodes a season. That I did know. And so to say that I'm at episode 100, I definitely am excited. It is a milestone. It's an accomplishment that I'm thrilled to celebrate with you all. And I will say, starting the podcast and going on this journey, it definitely has been an evolution. I mean, season 1, we were talking about like getting to know me. I was trying to build a community. I was trying to make sure you guys have homework every time. Like I've always had homework. And that was fun. I mean, I felt like I got to share me on the personal side and more of my backstory. And then season 2, I started seeing a pattern because one of the questions that I've always asked my guests on the podcast is like what their definition of success is. And I've learned in just having the conversations from entrepreneurs to startups to those that are in the career, just have a career. Like it's not just entrepreneurs, but have a career. Like all my guests have different stories to share and different aspects of how they define success. And the undercurrent of all of it is no matter their season, the level or their definition of success has evolved and grown with them. And so like, even for me, like in my 20s, success was one thing. In my 40s now, success is another. And yeah, I just think it's pretty dope just to see how that has transpired over the past 4 seasons. The other thing I'm going to say is this whole podcast journey and the name really almost sounds like completion, but it's actually not. The whole point of this podcast was to meet you in the middle because I strongly believe that we are always in the middle of building something. And that could be a career, that could be, parenting life, that could be your own personal hobbies and interests. Like we're always in the middle of something. And every now and again, we need that little push that tells us that we can do it or we can implement or go execute and not just sit there and operate in theory. And so to me, this podcast was really built and meant to help meet you in that middle and maybe see just a little bit of you within someone else's story or within my own story. And yeah, I mean, it's just been exciting to see how the community has grown. The subscribers. Oh, let me take a pause for a second. If you are not subscribed, whether it is on YouTube or on your audio platform of choice, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. 100 episodes in, that's like pretty dope. If you've been here since season 1, thank you for rocking with me. And if you're just now finding me in your own middle, hey, let's go. We got stuff to do. We got things to conquer and success to build, right? No, but in all seriousness, just 100 episodes into this podcast, I would say somewhere between 1 and 99, because that's for real, I decided to share more of me. And in season 4, which is the season we're in right now, it really felt like I've opened up and I shared more of the behind the scenes because even for me as a business, it's like a build. I'm building. I'm not going to say rebuilding, but I am building from where I've left off into a new thing. And it's been pretty sometimes challenging, I'll say, to share because I tend to keep elements of me back, not in a reserved kind of way, but more so just, everybody don't need to know everything. And so coming out and being able to evolve and share some of the behind the scenes of what's actually going on, how I'm thinking and how I'm processing through things in this transition season for me has been pretty eye-opening. And I hopefully you guys took away some nuggets or some tips that can help you in your own middle. And so, yeah, so season 4 and getting to 100, I will say that, my favorite, how about I do this? My favorite episode, and it is biased because it's me, but my favorite episode is truly episode 1, because to me, that's the most raw and also the first episode that we filmed. And I will say that if you are new here and you haven't heard a little bit of my backstory, go back and listen to episode 1. I'm not going to run it through here, but listen to episode 1 because that really tells you where I'm coming from and maybe help you see how I process, how I think. But I think that the undercurrent of all seasons, in each season, I've tried to share frameworks and systems, both for life and for business, that can help and meet you in your middle to get you to that next step. I mean, I'm a very strong proponent of making sure that you have goals, and in getting or achieving those goals, you have the steps that you need and taking the action that you need to make those goals come to fruition. And this podcast is just that. Like, I like to hear other stories and share them with you so that you know, hey, you're not alone in this. It's a real thing. Like, we sometimes think in our own heads, sometimes a little bit too much, and are not able to just vocalize or put into words, I should say, some of those thoughts. And so to hear other people who may be on a similar trajectory or a similar journey or a similar path and pick up something for yourself, I feel like is a gift, right? You get to hear somebody else echo what you're already feeling. And yeah, so She Built Success is still going to continue to tell these stories. I still want to continue to even share some of the behind the scenes for me and myself and what's happening. But it's definitely a celebratory episode, y'all. I mean, 100 in. I think the most telling, we do this thing from inception. We have this thing called bloopers, and you will see some bloopers here coming up on our season finale. But there are moments of just things that happen, like when we're not filming, but we're still filming, but things that just happen off camera. And I must say that those are fun for me because I don't know, I typically am laughing like all the time, most of the time. And so to see some of just the bloopers, some of the things we get pulled and I'm just like, I forgot that even happened. But just to see how even that element is a part of me that is fun. And I was excited to be able to incorporate that here in the podcast. As far as what's to come, season 5, I'm really looking for, I say I'm looking forward to all the seasons, but I feel like now that I have these episodes, these seasons under my belt, I feel a little more comfortable. And it wasn't so much that I felt uncomfortable because I'm cool with being on camera, but it almost felt like I had to find my own cadence, my own rhythm, talking direct to camera. It's that part. I don't have an issue talking direct to camera, but finding my own cadence, my own rhythm, especially when it's solo was a challenge for me. Not because I didn't know what to say or how I wanted to say it, but more so I always wanted to make sure that if you are listening to an episode, you're taking something away. And so I would frame the episode in that manner. There were some where it was just like me, but I still would make sure you go do your homework because that's a real thing. Like, you can't sit out here and just, I don't know. I'm not a theoretical person. And so being able to just share 100 episodes with you, my listeners, my audience, my viewers, has just been beautiful. I call you all my bold move besties because in order to push go and make things happen, you have to make bold moves. And to me, that's a real thing as well. I think one of the things that I have not like fully leaned in on is like true, like a platform for a community. I don't know if I want to 100% do that, or if I want to still like do what we're doing right now, which is more like social and DMs and conversations in that regards, or if I want to do like a full on platform. I don't know yet. We're not there. I'm not there yet. Y'all might be there, but I'm not. So let me know. Would you start a podcast? Like, and if you would, what would you talk about? I try to shed some light on who I am as a person, but I also try to give you the real and practical things of what life has to offer. I don't consider myself old. I do consider myself experienced. And so in that, I'm able to bring to the forefront some of the things that I've experienced in life and learn from others who come onto the podcast. And we have these type of conversations. And I genuinely enjoy it. I think one of the highlights of this season in particular was when I did the interviews. I call them rapid fire interviews. That was fun. I met a lot of really, really dope women and was able to highlight just a snippet of their story, some of whom I would love to go more in depth with here in the future. But just being able to do that got me excited to be able to think about what other opportunities or what other moments could I capture in that same vein, and whether it's on the podcast or in other endeavors. And so for me, that was something that I kind of knew was a thing, but I didn't know was a thing. If that probably doesn't make sense, but it's something that I knew I could do, but I never really knew it until I actually did it. See, that's what I'm talking about, execution. So 100 episodes in, I wouldn't say a couple takeaways that I have. One of them is at 4 episodes in, I'm at 4 seasons in, I'm glad to actually have a studio because it makes it a little bit easier just to push that record button. But my team behind me in the production and post-production, I definitely appreciate. I could not do the editing. That is not my ministry. That is not my gift. And so those elements of it, I'm so thankful for. Just the different individuals who've come across my path, whether you are a guest, Aubrielle, who's the makeup artist here at She Built Success, when we are filming usually guest episodes now, she also has been, we've gone back since should have looked it up. Dang it. I think it's 2018 when we first started working together. And so just to me, being able to develop, I'm big on relationships. And so relationships to me matter. And how I interact with you and how I interact with my guests is real. Like it's not scripted. I'm not a scripty type of person. I don't do well with scripts. And so being able to just come on here and share a peek into what it looks like running a business and what it looks like being a mom of teens and one about to go off to college. And so it's fun to be able to share some of that with you and to be able to hopefully, like I said, you get a little glimpse into me and maybe find a little bit of you somewhere in my story or my guest story. And I will say, let's see, my other highlight, sorry, let me think about my other highlight. My other highlight for 100 episodes in. So of course my team and the relationships that I built, but it has been like just learning and stretching myself as a person and getting more comfortable with sharing just a little bit about me. Y'all ain't gonna know everything. I'm not that's not my, I don't roll that way, but the things that I do want to share, I try to share. And so I feel like at this point, it's just like, let's just continue to go and see and grow and see where this podcast goes. And if there's something you want me to talk about or you've heard me talk about, but you want me to expand on, please let me know because I like feedback. I like to hear, what you may want to hear more of and what you might not want to hear so much of. One of the things I do try to do is impart some of the books that I've read over the years that have made an impression on me. And so I try to do that every season, but I would love to hear, like, are there certain things that you're like, hey, this isn't really covered and could you cover it? I'm down for it. She Built Success is not just about me. It's about you too and understanding what you need to be able to make those bold moves in life. So Bold Move Bestie, I want to just thank you from the bottom of my heart for continuing to rock with me here on She Built Success. We are not done yet. We're going to continue going. So until next time, I will catch you on the next season of She Built Success. Deuces.